Hi, it's Thad with Willow Way Nurseries. We're here just March 31st, so we're getting into April 1st. Some of the things that are really critical going on right now at the nursery is we're doing a lot of spacing, a lot of trimming coming out, so a lot of our roses are getting trimmed. That's kind of this week. We want to finish up that first week in April. We want to be done. Oak leaves are at the time where sometimes you'll get them kind of woody or stemmy. It's real important. We want to make sure that we got a lot of nice growth on it. But what we want is we don't want this woodiness be thinner underneath like they grow in the landscape for containers. So we really want to trim these back. We're looking for these bud sets in here. So we're going to cut back to just a few of them. As you can see, this will flush out. We'll get more breaks down here. There's a couple here and down here, and that will make a fuller plant. You can see something like this. It was trimmed just a little bit earlier. You see how much more breaks are in it, and it looks nicer. So. And it'll be less full. Same with Buddleia is coming up on trim this week. We do that as seasonally dormant. There's a number of those woodier plants that kind of get the bottom naturally kind of shades itself out and drops all that. We want to trim those down low so that we get that low break and flush so they look as good as possible. Hi, we moved over some Aquilegia. This is a great early season color plant. This is pink, winky, purple and white. As you can see, we've used a PGR on these to kind of keep them a little tighter, but they're really coming out with a lot of blooms that come down. This is a really good, they take the cold weather a little better, they like it, they grow better in this weather. This is a crop we started last fall, and as you can see, we're nice rooting in there. Real easy plant to put out in the land, into the yards, and gives you that early season color. We'll look at a couple other perennials as we go. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about growing degree days. We're just shy of 150 here at Avon, Ohio. So a couple things is there is inkberry leaf miner right now would be starting. So you want to be looking for that for sprays if you have inkberry. You also have the Asian brosier beetle. The first flight would be on that. We have had some nights now where we've been over 58 degrees. So that's kind of the trigger. We have 2 nights of that. So that's something we're out looking for and actively kind of going on. Some of the phenology plants, and that's just basically plants that are timed out to growing degree days. Star magnolias should be in full bloom right now. Norway maple would be in full bloom. Calorie pear in full bloom. And also you'd see Sargent prunus. So Sargent cherries. So those would be some indicator plants that you're around that 150 degree mark. Yeah, some color plants in the spring that we don't always think about. Virginia is really eye-catching in the nursery right now. You can see with this brilliant magenta color flower, nice display. It's got a really nice lush green foliage, easy growing, can take a little more moisture, but real nice plant, early season color. So with the Columbine, these are a couple of choices that not everybody thinks about, is this Virginia. And then behind me, the Sun King Aurelia is starting to come up, and you can see that really nice golden color. So Aurelia is another one. This will get about 3 feet tall when they really get going. So and established, and it kind of forms like a clump. So it's a really nice plant for foliage. So that's another choice in this early season that would be a good one to look at if you want to fill the yards with color. Both of them are fairly easy to grow. The Sun King Aurelia, even though it says full sun, when it's young, it likes more of a partial shade to it. So you can go into partial shade with it and be okay. Hi, I want to check in our cooler. This is a new plant in our cooler, and it's a newer plant for offering for Willow Way. It's Mertensia virginica. It's part of our American Beauties program. This is a native. Virginia bluebells is the common name. And this is a really early plant. It's a spring ephemeral. So this goes dormant during the summer months and only is growing in the early spring. So you can see this is a woodland plant typically. So you want that more shaded, kind of in or partial shade. It's a pretty easy one to grow once you get it going, but it is a long, it's almost a 12-month cycle for us to grow it because of that dormancy in the summer. So we had to start these the year before, and then they go almost a full year to get them to be rooted out. But you can see this one's a little farther ahead than some of the other ones I selected, but it's just starting to flower now. Does well with cooler temperatures, and it likes that. So as you can see, it's a real fine rooted plant, but does really nice. So this is another one that you could consider. choices. Hi, it's Thad Willoway again. One other plant we thought we should talk about for early color, it's not normally on the list, but hedgehog aloe. Obviously not hardy out in the landscape, but a beautiful plant for early season. And you can see they get this nice flower spike. It comes off. This is the hedgehog aloe. You can use it for, as an aloe plant in your house, but really nice. You can put this as a patio plant and then take it in the winter. But the plants that work, this is a really easy plant to grow, low maintenance. Really, in the nursery, we experience very few problems with it, but except for it is susceptible to cold. So we've had some issues where drafts have got them in the winter and things like that. But other than that, they're pretty much easy to grow. Even if you think you have a black thumb, you really will have a green thumb with this one.